homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, it's time finally. It's 50 degrees out here this morning, but the sun's shining and it feels pretty good. The frost is over, I hope, for the year. Weather Nation tells me for the next 2 weeks there's no frost. So hopefully we won't get a frost in June. It's been crazy this year. But today we're going to plant our Roma tomatoes. Now, I'm going to plant them with the no-bend method. Now, when we plant our Cherokee purples, I'm going to show you 2 no-bend methods. But today I'm just going to show you the pipe planter. You can go back and see how I build that. I'll try and put a link right here to that. Now, when we go to start planting our Romas, what are these Romas going to give me? Well, I've got 48 Romas here. I think a couple of cells didn't come up. I brought them up out of the basement. It's time. There's another set like this in the basement, but they're about half the size of these. The reason I do that is I want them to come up and be staggered, because these are going to give us about 38 quarts of tomatoes, and I don't want a can, or I don't want to make crystal can 38 quarts of tomatoes and then 38 again in the same week. That's kind of mean, so I won't do her that way. That makes her back hurt. So what I've got here, I've got 48 Roma tomato plants. I've got a 5-gallon bucket of 10-10-10 fertilizer. It's not full, but I'll show you how much fertilizer you need. Now, we plant these in sets of 3, and when we cage them, you'll understand why I do that. But let's go ahead and get over to the field here, and I'll show you how we do that. For my planting method, I've got a 4-pack, but it's only got 2 in it. This morning, before I came out here, I put the water to these. I soaked them so I don't have to water them after I plant them. Now, this is just a standard piece of PVC pipe. You kick that to the side, you pull some dirt up around it, and then you take your plant and just drop it. Pull the PVC pipe up, and look there, there's that plant right ready to go. Put a little dirt around it. Now, about a foot away, I'm going to do the same thing. And then just drop your plant. When you pick it up, there's your plant, and there's plenty of room for dirt around it. Plant tomatoes deep. Okay, all along the stem where you put dirt, you have made it so that that tomato will put on roots. The more roots, the more fruit. Now I'll plant my 3rd one. Within a foot. Put it right there. Now I'll drop a tomato right down in there. There it is. If you cover up a leaf, you'll be okay. Now, once I've got those tomatoes in, I just come back with a little bit of all-purpose fertilizer. This is 10-10-10 granular fertilizer. And I put about a teaspoon by each tomato. And that will give them a good start. Now, the 3 here is so that I can take these and put them in cages and be real effective. and save Cajun. And I'll show you that when we get to it. Okay, we scooted over a little bit from those 3. Now I'm going to plant 3 more. 1, you pull that dirt up around there. You drop your tomato through the top. And there it comes out in the hole. You pull dirt up around it, press it in. About a foot away, you do the same thing. The better it clips in, you should be able to turn loose the pipe, just so you know. I haven't got a hold of the pipe. Down it goes. Then cover that tomato up. Like I say, if you cover up, there's a rock. I don't want that in there. If you cover up a little root or a little leaf, it'll be okay. Now about a foot away, the same way. This next one, another rock. Step it in. That's ready for the fertilizer. About a teaspoon worth of fertilizer. Now if your fertilizer sticks in your plant a little, just dust it so that fertilizer comes out of there. You don't want it on the plant, it'll hurt it. So, okay, I've got almost 48 to do, so I'll get at it. Okay, there only wound up being 36 plants. Some of the cells, either they died or didn't germinate. That happens sometimes. But I've got another flat down in the basement coming on. And then we've got our bed yet to come on. So the flat down in the basement, probably about 2 weeks behind these. That gives us 2 weeks between harvests. So you know that we dry a bunch, we can a bunch, so there's a whole lot, and we freeze a bunch too. But mainly we freeze Cherokee purples because they're a little bit harder to put up because of their old-timey nature. If you are concerned about the fertilizer, you can go and see our video about how to apply fertilizer, and on our Facebook page there's a sheet under the help photo albums. There's a sheet that you can look up and save on your phone. It tells you how much fertilizer per 100-foot row, and the video shows you how to calculate based on your rows. My rows are based on 100 foot. You can modify it to yours. You can figure that with these tomatoes I put in 50 plants in a 100-foot row. Does that make sense? The average is going to be 2 feet apart with Cherokee purples. With these, we're only about a foot apart, but then there's 2 feet between the threes. Okay, so you can figure about 48 in a 100-foot row. So now if you like this kind of stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homesteading stuff every week, sometimes 1, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead. And now, with that being said, it's time for me to get on to the next thing.